Hi, Assalamualaikum. So now we are going to discuss question self-exercise 2.12 from textbook, page 67. Okay, all this question actually about the rate of change. For question number 1, for each of the following equation relating x and y, if the rate of change of x, okay, given the clue rate of change of x, so x dt. Okay, find the rate of change of y. So meaning that you have to find dy dt. So given dx dt equals to 2. So find dy dt. Okay, so A, given y equals to 3x squared minus 4 and x equals to 1 over 2. So first of all, you find dy dx equals to 6x, and then substitute x equals to 1 over 2 become 3, dy dx is 3. So then by using chain rule, dy dt equals to dy dx times dx dt. Okay, so equals to 3 times 2. So the final answer is 6 units per second. Okay, then 1b, same, given rate of change of x, so dx dt equals to 2. Find dy dt. Okay, so b, y is 2x squared plus 1 over x. So y is 2x squared plus x power of negative 1. So then find the first derivative, differentiate y with respect to x, become 4x minus x power of negative 2. So we have here 4x minus 1 over x squared. Okay, so then substitute x equals to 1. So then 1 minus 1 over 1 squared is 3. Okay, so chain rule dy dt equals to dy dx times dx dt, which is 3 times 2. Okay, coincidentally same the answer with the question A. Okay, so 6. Question C, dx dt is 2. Find dy dt. Okay, y equals to 2 over 3x minus 5 power of 3. So x is 2. So we move up, become 2, 3x minus 5 power of negative 3. So dy dx is negative 6. 3x minus 5 power of negative 4 times 3. Okay, here we get negative 18 over 3x minus 5 power of 4. Okay, x is 2. When x is 2, negative 18 over 3 times 2 minus 5 power of 4. Okay, 6 minus 5, 1 squared, 1 power of 4 is 1, so negative 18. Okay, so then dy dt. So equals to dy dx times dx dt. Chain rule. Okay, so negative 18 times 2, which is negative 36. Okay, next question D. Previously given dx dt equals to 2. Find dy dt. Okay, so here given y equals to 4x minus 3 power of 5 and x equals to half. So then differentiate, use power rule. So 5 4x minus 3 power of 4 times 4. So we get 20 4x minus 3 power of 4. So then x is 1 over 2. So negative 1 power of 4, so 20. Okay, so dy dt equals to dy dx times dx dt. So dy dx equals to 20, dx dt is 2. So the final answer is 40. Question E. Same, dx dt given from the question, which is 2. Find dy dt equals to whatever. Okay, so here y equals to x over x plus 1. Okay, y equals to 2. Okay, so for this question, you have to find coordinates of x first. Okay, so we substitute y is 2, so x over x plus 1. Here we have 2x plus 2 equals to x. So then x equals to negative 2. So then you find dy dx, okay, by using quotient rule. Okay, so u is x, du dx is 1. V is x plus 1, dv dx equals to 1. Okay, so quotient rule, v du dx. Okay, so dy dx is x plus 1 times 1 minus u dv dx. Okay, x times 1 over v squared. Okay, so x plus 1 squared. Okay, this one we can simplify, become 1 over x plus 1 squared. And we already have x here. X is negative 2. So we substitute into the dy dx. So we get negative 2 plus 1 squared. Become 1. Okay, so we find dy dx. Okay, so we add here one more page. Okay, so by using chain rule, we find dy dt equals to dy dx times dx dt. Okay, dy dx just now 1. Dx dt is 2. So the final answer is 2. Now question F. Okay, dx dt is 2. dy dt you have to find. Okay, so y is x cubed plus 2. Y is 10. Okay, so find x first. So substitute y equals to 10. X cubed plus 2. So x cubed is 8. So x equals to 2. So find dy dx. Okay, y equals to x cubed plus 2. dy dx equals to 3x squared. Okay, so x is 2 squared. The answer is 12. So find dy dt by using chain rule. So dy dx times dx dt. So here we have 12 times 2, which is 24. Okay, now we move to the next question. Question number 2. For each of the following equations relating x and y, if the rate of change of y, okay, so rate of change of y, dy dt equals to 6 per second, 6 unit per second. Find the rate of change of x. So, oppositely, find dx dt. Okay, so question A. Given y equals to x cubed minus 2x squared and x equals to 1, find dy dx. Okay, so we differentiate with respect to x. We get 3x squared minus 4x. And we substitute x equals to 1. Okay, so here we get negative 1. So dy dx is negative 1. Now you find dx dt by using chain rules. Dx dt equals to dx here we have dy dx. So now dx dy times dy dt. Okay, so look at here, dy dx, dy dx dy. So actually this one is negative 1 over 1. Okay, so negative 1 over 1. So then dx dy is 1 over negative 1 times dy dt is 6. Okay, so the answer is negative 6. Okay, next to be given dy dt is 6, find dx dt. Okay, so y is x squared plus 4 over x and x equals to 2. So here y is x squared plus 4x power of negative 1. Differentiate with respect to x minus 4x power of negative 2. So 2x minus 4 over x squared. Then we substitute x equals to 2. 2 minus 4 over 2 squared. Here we have 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay, so chain rule dy, dx dt. Dx dt is dx dy times dy dt. Okay, look at here. We have dy dx and here we need dx dy. Okay, actually 3 is 3 over 1. Okay, so then dy dx 3 over 1. Dx dy 1 over 3 times 6. Okay, so equals to 2. Then 2c dy dt equals to 6. Find dx dt. Okay, so given y is 2x squared over x minus 1 when x equals to 3. So this one you have to use a quotient rule. So u 2x squared du dx is 4x, v is x minus 1, dv dx is 1. So chain rule dy dx is v du dx. Okay, so x minus 1 times 4x minus u dv dx. So 2x squared times 1. Okay, du dv dx over v squared over x minus 1 squared. Okay, here we simplify. We get 4x squared minus 4x minus 2x over x minus 1 squared. This one 2x squared. Okay, so 2x squared minus 4x over x minus 1 squared. Okay, given the value of x is 3, so we substitute into dy dx. So 3 squared minus 4 times 3 over 3 minus 1 squared. Okay, here we have 3 over 2. Okay, so 3 over 2. Okay, so this is dy dx. Now we want to find dx dt. So dx dt is dx dy times dy dt. Okay, so here dy dx 3 over 2, we need dx dy. So oppositely this one 2 over 3. Okay, times dy dt is 6. Okay, so the final answer is 4. Question D. Okay, dy dt is 6. Find dx dt. Okay, so dy is x minus 6 square root x minus 1 when x equals to 2. Okay, this one you have to find dy dx first. You use product rule. So u equals to x minus 6 du dx is 1. V is x minus 1 power of half. So dv dx is 1 over 2 x minus 1 power of negative 1 over 2 times 1. Okay, so this one become 1 over 2 square root x minus 1. Okay, so dy dx u dv dx, so x minus 6 over 2 square root x minus 1 plus v du dx, so square root x minus 1 times 1. Okay, then x is 2. Okay, so we substitute 2 minus 6 over 2 times square root 2 minus 1 plus square root 2 minus 1. Okay, so this one we negative 4 over 2 plus 1. So become negative 1. Okay, negative 1. Then find dx dt equals to dx dy times dy dt. Okay, so negative 1 is over 1. So 1 over negative 1 times 6 equals to negative 6. Then question E, dy dt is 6. Find dx dt. Okay, so y is 2x minus 1 over x plus 1. Okay, this one quite different because given the value of y, which is y equals to 3. So for this question, you have to find the value of coordinate x. So then we substitute y equals to 3 into the equation. So 3 equals to 2x minus 1 over x plus 1. So 3x plus 3 equals to x minus 1. So x equals to negative 4. Then you find dy dx. Okay, for this situation, you can use quotient rule. So u is 2x minus 1. Du dx is 2. V is x plus 1. dv dx is 1. So dy dx is v du dx. Okay, so x plus 1 times 2 minus 2x minus 1 times 1 over v squared. So x plus 1 squared. Okay, here we have 2x plus 2 minus 2x plus 1 over x plus 1 squared. Okay, then we get 3 over substitute x equals to just now negative 4. Okay, negative 4 plus 1 squared is negative 3 squared. So 3 over 9, which is 1 over 3. Okay, so this is dy dx. So dx dt is dx dy times dy dt. So dx dy is 3 over 1 times 6, which is equals to 18. Okay, the last one for question 2. Here we have question F. Same, given dy dt is 6, find dx dt. Okay, so y is square root 2x plus 7, y equals to 3. So then find x first. So 3 equals to square root 2x plus 7. So square both sides. Here we have 3 squared equals to 2x plus 7. So 2x equals to 2. So x equals to 1. Okay. So here we have y is square root. 2x plus 7 is 2x plus 7 power of half. So by using composite function or power rule, we find dy dx. Find the first derivative. So 1 over 2, 2x plus 7, power of negative 1 over 2 times 2. Okay, here 1 over square root 2x plus 7. And given we already have the value of x here, x equals to 1, we substitute. So 1 over 2 times 1 plus 7 square root. Okay, so 1 over 9, square root 9 is 3, so 1 over 3. So then find dx dt, chain rule dx dy times dy dt, which is 3 over 1 times 6. The final answer is 18. Here the last one, question number 3. A curve has an equation y equals to x minus 8 times square root x plus 4. Find an expression for dy dx. Okay, meaning that you have to find the first derivative. Okay, y is x minus 8 square root x plus 4. Okay, so then we use product rule. So u x minus 8 du dx is 1. So v is x plus 4 power of half because square root is power of half. Okay, so dv dx is 1 over 2 x plus 4 power of negative 1 over 2 times 1. Which is, we simplify, we get 2 square root x plus 4. Okay, so dy dx, product rule, u dv dx. Okay, so x minus 8 over 2 square root x plus 4 plus v du dx. Okay, so these two. Here we have x plus 4 square root. Okay, because power of 1 over 2 is square root times 1. Okay, times 1. Okay, then given this one you can simplify. Okay, we can simplify. We equate the denominator. Okay, the denominator is 2 square root x plus 4. Meaning that we have 2 times 2 square root x plus 4. Okay, square root, half means power of 1. Okay, so then we simplify. Here we get x minus 8 plus 2x plus 4. Okay, over 2 square root x plus 4. Okay, so x minus 8 plus 2x plus 8 over 2 square root x plus 4. So we simplify, we get here 3x over 2 square root x plus 4. So this is our dy dx. Okay, so for question B, okay, for question B, the rate of change of y. Okay, the clue is rate of change of y, meaning that dy dt. Okay, so dy dt, if x increases at a rate of 6. So here we have x increases at rate of 6. Okay, here is dx dt equals to 6. Now we have chain rule, dy dt equals to dy dx times dx dt. So dy dx is just now from the previous question. So 3x over 2 square root x plus 4. Okay, times 6. Okay, here given x equals to 5. So we just substitute x equals to 5. 2 times 5 plus 4. Okay, 15 times 6 over 2 times 3. Okay, so the final answer is 15.